Hey, what's up, guys? So let's talk about this so-called big, beautiful bill, can we? The one that just passed through the Senate. Because I promise you, it's not beautiful. It's a disaster. It's a love letter to billionaires, a death sentence for the working class, and a sign that America isn't just broken, it's being gutted in broad daylight. This bill slashes the last protections FDR fought for. You know, the policies that built the American middle class, the ones that made us the envy of the world for 75 years, gone. We're watching in real time as they unravel Social Security, they gut labor protections, defund what little public good we have left, and hand the spoils over to the billionaire class. And the worst part, people aren't even fighting back anymore. Why? Because, they divided us. They turned us against each other. They made selfishness and greed not just normal, but cool. They somehow convinced us to hate our neighbor if they're struggling, to step on each other for scraps. I mean, this is unbelievable, man. What is going on? There was a time in this country when workers stood together. There was a time when you could literally call a secondary strike action. So if some union somewhere was getting screwed over, people were being paid unlivable wages or being forced to work in deplorable conditions, other unions would walk out of their job too in solidarity. We were a wall that they couldn't break. Now we're just a bunch of scattered individuals, too busy blaming the poor, blaming immigrants, blaming each other to see who's really robbing us all fucking blind. And who's that? The billionaire oligarch class. The same people who don't pay taxes, the same people that this bill, this big, beautiful bill, was written for. I mean, all this talk from Elon Musk about the national debt. But what he's not telling you is, do you even know how we have a national debt? Do you even know who we're in debt to? Let me break down the national debt boogeyman that they keep scaring you with. The national debt exists because billionaires don't pay their share of taxes. Period. That's the reason why it exists. When the government spends more money than it actually brings in, that's debt. But why aren't we bringing in enough? Because billionaires dodge taxes. Because corporations pay lobbyists to carve loopholes into the law. We're not in debt to ourselves or some other people or some country or our kids or even grandkids. That's all nonsense. We're in debt to banks and bondholders. People who bought bonds, whether it was 30, 50, 75 years ago that get transferred through trusts. People who profit off of us borrowing to cover for the rich. And you want to know something? If we just had taxed billionaires at the same rate that we did back in the 1980s, not even the 1950s, if we had just kept the same tax rate since the 80s, we'd not only erase all the deficit, we'd have a surplus. We'd literally be funding schools, hospitals, clean energy. We'd have everything we need and plenty of money to go around. But instead, bills like this bill, bills like the big, beautiful bill, is what keeps giving handouts to the ultra wealthy while telling working people like you and me to tighten up our belts. It's a scam. It's a heist. And it's working. It's working, guys, because we've been programmed to look the other way. And while we're distracted, guys like Peter Thiel, the billionaire behind Palantir, the one who's into transhumanism, who literally couldn't even answer a question recently about wanting the human race to last. This guy's a lunatic, but he's in there building a surveillance state that'll make sure we never rise up. Peter Thiel and all his little billionaire pals, they don't believe in democracy. Look up Dark Enlightenment. They come right out and say it. They want a monarchical corporate state. They've said it out loud on videos. They believe in authoritarianism. They want a world where the rich rule unchecked and where anyone that they deem useless, people who have health problems, people on breathing machines, people overweight, they consider these people unproductive to society, and they believe they should be left to die or worse. Now, granted, they said humanely, but think about that for a minute. There's the agenda. Kill off the safety net, kill off solidarity, kill off democracy. And this bill, it's just the latest tool they're using. What's happening is simple, guys. Selfishness, inhumanity, apathy, greed, these aren't accidents. You're looking around going, wow, people are losing their mind. No, this is a strategy. And they've hollowed out the foundation of this country and the actual principles that created it in the first place. America's never been perfect, far from it, obviously, right? But at least we pretended to believe in the common good once. Now, it's like we just worship billionaires while they buy up politicians, destroy the planet, turn us all against one another. And we're like, man, one day I want to be rich too and be a scumbag. It's like the cool thing to be now. And let me be clear, nothing will change without a massive, drastic uprising of the working class. Nothing. We have to reject this culture of every man for himself. We have to reject it. We have to rebuild solidarity. We have to come together and rebuild solidarity. We have to remember that the power was always ours. If we act together, strength in numbers, S-I-N, sin, baby. Sin. The big beautiful bill, man, it's a wake-up call, guys. The question is, are you going to answer that call, or are you just going to scroll to the next video and pretend like none of this is happening?